Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put in your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Alright, so we move on for the next fight. This is actually fight number 23 for section 19. Two redheads going at it this time, ladies and gentlemen. This fight comes from yours truly right here. So let's get on with this debate, shall we? We have Nariko from Heavenly Sword versus the she-devil herself, Red Sonja. Alright, so we have Nariko versus Red Sonja. Two beautiful redheads. Let's move it on. Alright, Nariko from the game Heavenly Sword. Fierce warrior. And the thing about her is there was a prophecy, and if nobody's ever played the Heavenly Sword game, I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit of her skills as well. But the prophecy of her people were, there was a male was destined to be born the year she was born, and would lead the clan to an era of peace and prosperity and things like that. Unfortunately, Nariko was born. She was born, and people kind of felt that when a female was born, they felt, they believed the gods had forsaken her. However, and cursed them and doomed them to destruction and things like that. So pretty much to her people, she was kind of like an outcast to them. But even despite that, she would protect them, and she learnt the ways of the warrior, thanks to a man known as Kai. Yeah, it was Kai or Shen, I'm trying to remember. And basically, she gained, the weapons. Of course, her weapon of choice is the Heavenly Swords. Now, the Heavenly Swords are these two blades, like nunchuck weapons, kind of like the Kratos' weapons as well. But the difference is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, the swords that Nariko has is they can't be used to anybody else, and they kill her. They can kill. I believe they're killing her. They were killing her, zapping the life out of her. But she is a fierce warrior, very skilled at the art of combat, and despite, like I said, despite all that, despite her people looking at her differently, she is their protector, and she protects her people with her life. And she can battle many opponents at once and not even break a sweat, in a sense. But fierce, strong, beautiful, deadly, that's her. There you go. And we move on to her combatant in that. And the thing about it is, I use those last words for Nariko. Those also can go with this woman right here, and that is none other than Red Sonja. She is known as the She-Devil, and Sonja is a warrior, ladies and gentlemen, that you do not, I repeat, you do not want as an enemy. You don't want her. You don't want to be the one on the other side fighting her, because when you're looking at her, honestly, you're looking at death. Sonja is unbelievably skilled with the sword. She is skilled not just with the sword, but just combat, period. She is a student of the game. This woman walks around in chainmail, but a bikini chainmail, but she is immune to pretty much every form of weather. So she can be in the outskirts of the Himalayas and she won't be cold. She can be in the Sahara Desert, blazing hot. She won't be sweating. She it is somehow she is able to control her body that well. She knows her body so well. It is unbelievable. She has faced gods, monsters, demons, you name it, and pretty much she has walked away from every one of those. Is she the female equivalent of Conan? Yes, indeed. So, as I once said of Conan, when you're fighting Conan, you should be prepared for death. The same thing goes for Red Sonja, the she-devil. Prepare for death because she's going to be fierce in combat. It's going to be like you're fighting not a woman, you're going to be fighting a devil. So we move on to the battle breakdown for this debate. Two fierce women going at it. Oh my god, this would be a battle that I would pay to see. The way I look at this fight is distance-wise. Nariko has the distance. She has the advantage in distance because of the heavenly swords, how they're wielded and how you wield them. They're very long-range weapons. So, in a sense, it's more important. It's more of a defensive fight for Sonja, but also trying to get inside to be able to negate some of the heavenly swords abilities. But even still, Nariko could use those, call them back and just use them as a regular sword instead of distance weapons. So it's a bit of both. Both of these ladies were trained in the art of combat very well, and I can see these two ladies going on for a long time, because both of these ladies have very strong endurance. I've never really seen Sonja really get too winded in a fight, and even if she does, it's more like she's like a wounded animal. You don't want to be fighting a wounded animal because that's when they're most dangerous. The same thing would similarly go for Nariko as well, but distance is the key, speed is the key, and who would make the first mistake, in my opinion. But I'm gonna stay out of this fight because I have too much respect for both of these ladies. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide who do you feel is the winner in this fight, in debate, whatever. Nariko from Heavenly Sword, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, or Red Sonja. And I hope you guys enjoyed this fight. This was fight number 23, and I will be moving on to the next fight, which comes from Burnouter 7, and I will see you then. Battle on.